What's up? What's up, you guys? Kirsty Snyder here alongside Daniel Comp. We are ready to rock for Teachable Tuesday on the 9th of January, 2024. Tonight, we're talking about our new compensation plan with our new back-end offer inside of the funnel team. And we'll be talking about how to place your sales, how to place your members to get the most out of the compensation plan. Now, as you can see, I'm not on video just because of the weather. I don't want it to chop up. And Daniel is here to take it away tonight. So congrats and welcome. Be sure to pay attention to this replay. We're happy that you're here. Congrats on taking the time. All right, now we'll let everyone in and we'll get rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's make sure I can add everybody in.
Pile on in. Yep, there we go. Awesome. All right, what's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday, Teachable Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, Terrific Tuesday. What's up?
You're hilarious.
I know. I'll be here all week. Remember to tip your waitress. I see Bill in the house. Awesome. Good to see he's rocking his Irish scally cap there. Nice. All right, cool, guys. So we're going to dive in and we're going to hit it good tonight. And I'm going to give you guys as much possible education when it comes to the JIFU compensation plan. And what I want to do for you guys tonight is I want to compare that to what we're used to. So we're used to, at least the funnel team for the last 2 years has been used to a matrix, right? So I want to explain the difference between a matrix and I want to explain, how that relates to a binary, which is two completely different styles of compensation plan. However, what we've realized, and, we did a lot of research coming into this and before we obviously got started with JIFU, is that you can actually make it. And I went over this in our, original slides when we actually did the official announcement. Plus I created a video for you guys that you guys could use and share, share with personals from the previous business, share with leads, whatever. And I explained that you can actually make more money with less people with our current JIFU compensation plan. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to kind of dive deep and talk about the different aspects of both. And really for you guys, what I want you to pay attention to tonight is the building strategy that I'm going to go over and explain how that works. And I did this for anybody that's actually gone through our team training site and watched the updated member placement strategies video. I do go over this, but tonight I'm going to go much more into detail. Okay. So we're going to get rocking and, we're going to jump right in. So I'm going to go ahead. Oh, KS, you got to give me the old share access there. Still waiting.
Trying.
Yep,
Hold on.
Yep, no worries. All good.
All right, there you have it.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, and real quick, I don't know where you guys are. Hopefully you guys are, being safe because I know here, at least in Myrtle Beach, we got some crazy weather going on. And I know from like Georgia out through the Carolinas, down through Florida, there's tornado warnings, there's high wind warnings, all that stuff. We had wind gusts here up to like 60, 70 miles an hour a little while ago. There was a tornado warning that came through a few hours ago, several times. So it's been some really crazy weather. So hopefully all y'all are out there being safe. I'm letting my new Southern slip there. I don't know if you guys noticed. I just said y'all, which I don't normally say. But anyway, so here we go, guys. Let's dive into.
Please don't convert. I'm just kidding.
What's that?
Don't convert with the y'all.
No, I don't plan to.
Imagine me. I can't even say Kirsty correct. Imagine me saying y'all.
Yeah, I know you've been struggling for 2.5 years with that. So I'm just saying. So anyway, let's dive in, guys. First thing we're going to do is talk about a matrix, right? So this is what we've been used to with the funnel team. And, we'll put you right up top here. Okay. So just pretend this is you. And then what we were used to is, the matrix is a 3x12, right? And then, goes down all the way, down here and you got it goes 12 levels deep, right? Now, the cool part about a matrix is, spillover, people can just kind of land wherever they land and they're going to land and it's typically going to fill from, the top. It's going to fill from the top down. Now with a matrix, the building strategy, what we're used to is if you get a producer, if you get someone who is you know they're going to build. You're going to bring in a Bill, a Kirsty, a Daniel, a Catherine, whoever, right? And they're going to build. You know they're going to get out there. They're going to build. You want to have those people as close to the top of your matrix as possible. Why is that? Because if they build and grow a team, you want to have them up, high and tight, right? Military terms, right? High and tight. You want them as close to you as possible. So that way, when they build their team, most of their team falls, within your matrix, right? Because with the old comp plan, let's say you had a producer and they popped in, down on the 10th level, right? And then they brought in, let's say they brought in 5,000 people. Well, you're only getting paid on 2 levels of that, which, kind of stinks. That's kind of a downfall of a matrix, depending on placement and where people land. If they go out and produce and they bring in a whole ton of people, your residuals would only be on really just a small fraction of their total organization. So the method with a matrix is to keep people as close to you as possible. And I've already had, some of you guys have already commented on this in certain training videos and whatnot. So, and this is based on the spillover that, some of you guys are getting. So spillover is still spillover. There's still a lot of you guys, depending on placement where you are, could be getting spillover from, leaders and other people on the team, the way that we're going to build. And I'm going to dive into this once we get into the actual binary and the different viewpoints. I'm going to talk about this here a little bit. Okay. So the method typically with a matrix is you fill from the top down, right? You fill your first level, right? 3 people on your first level, 6 people on, your second level, and then 9, and then, it continues to grow, and you fill from the top down. Okay. With a binary, you kind of need to just, everything I just shared with you, kind of need to just throw it out the window, because this is where you don't have to worry about these certain things. You don't have to worry about filling from the top down. Okay. You don't have to worry about getting leaders and producers. You don't have to worry about getting them close to the top, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So now let me explain all this so you can kind of now be like, okay, I kind of get that, right? But now let's dive deeper into a binary, right? So binary, bi meaning 2, instead of a matrix where you had 3 people directly under you, AKA you have 3 legs, a binary, you have 2. Bi meaning 2. Okay. So again, you at the top, right? And then you got your top of your left leg and the top of your right leg. Now, there's a good chance that a lot of you, based on the fact that this is still kind of new and a lot of you kind of came in here with us in the beginning, that depending on who you're under, chances are one of your legs is growing a lot faster than the other leg. Maybe you don't have anybody in under one leg. Maybe you have a bunch of people on another leg. Now, just so you know, spillover, not guaranteed, but again, based on the way that we're growing, the quick, a lot of people that are joining right now, there's a good chance that you might already see some people down underneath you. Now, here's the thing. The binary compensation plan specifically for JIFU. Now, this isn't all binaries. This is specifically with JIFU. And this is where we studied this compensation plan before we decided to, take that leap and obviously move on in 2024. We studied this compensation plan. We found that this was the right compensation plan for us to help us grow and be obviously as profitable and lucrative as possible. This compensation plan is all about volume. It's all about volume. And it has much less to do with placement. In other words, where people are placed. So as an example, let's say I'm going to give you several hypotheticals tonight to kind of hopefully have you guys understand the big picture here. So let's say that you haven't sponsored anybody yet. Okay. But maybe down underneath you on one side, let's say that you have 6, 10, 12, however many people, doesn't really matter, right? And they're coming down here. You got 1, 2, 3, 3 on down, right? And then you sponsor your first person. Well, if your left side is open, you can put that person on your left side, let's say their name is Bob, or we like to go with Billy Bob. We use Billy Bob often. So let's say you sponsor Bob. You can place Bob on your left side, right up underneath you on your left side. Cool. Awesome. Great. Okay. Now, let's say you sponsor somebody else and their name is Dave. Okay. You sponsor Dave. You want to put Dave on your right side because when you look at the compensation plan, the key to this compensation plan from a personal standpoint, meaning you personally sponsoring people, is having equal people on both sides, meaning you could have 1 and 1 personally on your right and left, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, and it maxes out at 8 and 8. So if you want to get to the highest rank in the company, Crown Diamond, I mean, you're literally making 6 figures a week, crazy money. All you need, and this is insane in a good way. All you need is 8 personally sponsored on each leg, 16 total people, period. Like that's it. And you can max out the comp plan with just 16 people. It's one of the reasons why we were like, this is a great comp plan. Okay. Where other companies, I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but we'll just say the initials are LG. And if you want to hit the highest rank in the company, you need 100 personally sponsored members. How many of you guys are going to run out and sponsor 100 people realistically? I mean, it's possible. We have many people here on our team that have done that, but on average, how many people are going to run out and sponsor 100 people? Is it possible? Yeah, sure. We got people that are doing it, but on average, you shouldn't have to sponsor that many people. 16 total in your working career with JIFU, and you can max out the comp plan. That's pretty freaking cool. Now, I digress. Let me jump back. So let's say you sponsor your first person, Bob, place them on your left side, right up underneath you, direct boom, left position, filled. You sponsor your second person. Let's say their name is Dave, right? So now Dave, the next open spot on your right leg, maybe due to some spillover, hypothetical here, but let's say they're going to now land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're good. The next open spot is 6 people down on your right side. Now, quick question for you. And I hinted at it earlier, right? If there's 6 people down from you on your right side, does that have any bearing on your income? Whether they're 1 person directly down from you or there's 6 people down from you, does that have any bearing on your income? What do you guys think? Okay, a couple of no's, right? Okay, so the answer to that is no. It has absolutely no bearing on your income at all. So meaning when you go to place somebody on your right or your left leg, you can place them wherever they land. And we're going to talk about this strategy here. I'm going to dive a little deeper into this in a second. Okay. So if you place your first personally sponsored person on your right side and they land 6 people down, that's 100% okay. Because it has no bearing on your check match. It has no bearing on the team overrides. It has no bearing on anything, really. Because again, you get paid on volume. You earn your bonuses and you earn your income on volume, not placement. So even if Dave, let's go back to the matrix example I just gave you, right? You would want to keep someone close to you so their team didn't fall out of your matrix and you didn't lose those residuals. That's completely different here because binaries, you ready for this? Take note. Binaries go down to infinity and beyond. Okay. Binaries go to infinity. All right. So if Dave comes in and let's say Dave brings in 1,000 people down on your right side, and then your next second sponsored person had to go 1,000 people down from you on your right side, it's no big deal. I would love to place somebody 1,000 people down on my right side. I would be psyched about that because that means your team is crushing it and growing, right? The unilevel, we're used to the term unilevel, right? that is still the same. You sponsor Dave, Dave sponsors Bob, Bob sponsors Lisa, Lisa sponsors Bill, Bill sponsors Catherine, right? That's called your bloodline or your unilevel. That remains the same. People who sponsor someone, who sponsor someone, who sponsor someone. As long as that's all in your direct lineage, your bonuses are always going to work the same, no matter where in the binary they are. Okay? Doesn't matter where in the binary they are. It's all about that straight line, that lineage, right? You sponsor someone who sponsors someone who sponsors someone. Okay. So now let's say that Bob over on your left-hand side, right? Bob was the first person that you sponsored. And let's say Bob brings in someone. Bob brings in Sally or Sue, Samantha, someone that starts with an S. But Bob brings in someone, name starts with an S. And then you sponsor your third person. Okay. You can go put them under here and we'll just call this person Mike, right? So you sponsor Mike, you put Mike over on your left side. Now, here's a real key to building binary volume. Okay. Big key right there. What I want everybody to do right now, I want you guys to drop this in the comments. Building binary volume. I want you to write this down. I want you to make a note. This is super critical, super important. Everybody comment this right now. Building binary volume. Okay. This is how you are going to, over time, okay, you're going to what we call break the binary. Break the binary. And I'm going to erase a lot. I'm going to clear out some of this stuff and make it a little easier for you guys to understand. As you start placing people either on your left or your right-hand side, you always want to place them on the outer sides. So it's important to know, am I placing someone, am I placing someone on the left or am I placing someone on the right? If you're placing them on the left, okay, if I go to place someone under Mike, let's say I sponsor someone else, I want to place them under Mike. Mike's going to have his left and he's going to have his right. If you're going to place on the left side, you always want to place on the outer left. You do not want to place people on an inside leg. I'm going to talk about why in a second. Okay, so you place someone on the outside leg. Always, always, always on the outside. And again, let's just call that person Larry. Now let's say we're going to bring in Gertrude. Gertrude joins G. And we're going to place Gertrude on Larry. And again, Larry has a right and Larry has a left. We're going to place Gertrude on the outer left of Larry. You could start writing a book with all this stuff. But you always want to place on the outer side. So same thing on the right side. Now let's say, let's say Dave, for whatever reason, Dave's sleeping and he hasn't brought anybody in yet. Okay. Dave's sleeping. And you sponsor someone and you want to put them down underneath Dave. Okay. Again, Dave's going to have an open position on the left. Dave's going to have an open position on the right. If you're putting someone down on the right leg, you always want to go on the right-hand side. So you're going to put Rich on the right. Okay. So remember, anytime you're building down and you're placing people on either leg, it's going to be the outer left or the outer right. Now, why is all of this important? Okay. Why is all of this important? Because again, when you look at the compensation plan, okay, your bonuses, your team bonuses, you bonus on volume. You bonus on volume. Okay. If you had someone go off on a tangent, let's say you accidentally place someone on an inside leg over here, and then you accidentally place someone over here, and then someone over here, and the lineage is kind of off, right? This volume here isn't going to add up the way that it could if you placed everybody in a straight line. Okay. So here, when everybody's in a straight line, all of these people, every single one of these people that are here, all right, let me grab my tool. All of them can see the volume. You know what? So as an example, this person here, person number 2, can see the volume from Dave and Rich and person 5, person 4, person 3. This person here can see all that volume because they're all in the same line. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes or no? Does that make sense? Right? When everybody's in that power leg or in that straight lineage, that's why you always want to put on the outer right or the outer left. Okay. When everybody's in that straight line, everyone can benefit from the volume of that leg. So here's what's very, very different from a matrix. Okay. In a matrix, you would typically be filling in from the top down. You would be filling these levels in as you're building. You do not want to do that. Okay. You do not want to do that in a binary. I've already had, some people comment and saying, hey, I was just looking in my binary leg and everything goes straight down. You guys are doing it wrong. No, we're actually doing it right. And you just don't understand it. Okay. So you want it to go straight down. So you could realistically have a big open cavity in the middle there, and that's okay. Now, where does this come into play as people start growing? Now, the point of this is to get rid of some of this stuff here. Okay. As the legs start to grow, because as an example, like this person over here, the person on the right, person 2, right? And I know, guys, I'm throwing a lot of information, there's a lot of numbers, a lot of things on your screen, but gotta slow down to go fast here. If you need to go to the replay, stop this, rewind this, watch it again, kind of digest it a little bit. Trust me when I tell you over time, this will start to make more and more sense. Okay. So I know it's something new. It's a different comp plan that we're used to, but I can assure you this pays extremely well. Now, person 2, right? You know how you had to build here at the top, right? You got your left side, you got your right side. Person 2, they're going to be building the same way. So when they sponsor their first person right here, okay, they're going to go on their inside left, their direct left. But guess what they're going to do? When they go to sponsor and put their first person on the right, where are they going to go? Down on the outer right side. And it's going to contribute to everybody else's volume in the leg. Everybody else's volume. Everyone's going to benefit when person number 2 goes to work. Everybody that's in this leg is going to benefit from that when they place on the right-hand side. Okay. Now, the beautiful thing about a binary, and this is great because this is much different than a matrix, and this is where it gets really cool, is if you guys are on an outer leg, and I know a lot of you guys are on outer legs. Okay. If you're on an outer leg and you have people that are spilling over down underneath you, you really only have to worry about building and growing one singular leg. Now, there's a little more to it than that, which I'll get into, but you really only have to worry about building out one leg. Okay. So let's take Mike over here. You got Mike over here, and obviously let's pretend that this leg is building way down. When Mike goes to get out there and start building and growing, obviously he's going to fill in his right side first. He's going to put his first personal over there. And then it would behoove Mike to put his second personal over on the left leg, third personal over here, fourth personal over here. Okay. Fifth personal over here. Right. Sixth personal, seventh personal. Okay. Once you get up to a leadership rank, whether it be manager, director, diamond, whatever it is, the minimum requirement per side, it maxes out at 8 and 8. So if you have 8 people on one side and 8 people personally sponsored on one side, 8 people personally on the other side, when you look at your 2 legs, all you need to do is focus on the weaker side. So if your weaker side is your right side, every single person that you bring in from there on out is going to go on your right side. Okay. So there's multiple different ways to look at this, but ultimately you want to go both sides until you hit the managerial ranks, right? And then you can start looking, once you get to that level, then you can start looking at the volume per side. But definitely in the beginning, focus on putting even amounts of people on both sides. Now we'll dive into more, deep diving strategies as we get going here. But again, ultimately, you got to remember, even if you have to place your first person way down because you have a lot of people down below you on one specific side, it doesn't matter where in the leg they go, as long as they're on the outer sides. Okay. Because the comp plan is based off of volume, not where they are placed. So that's very, very important to know.
And
to
just
understand.
real
Okay.
quick too, I know Sim
Yep.
asked this a few minutes ago. She said, does that benefit the whole team or just us? Yes, it benefits everybody because it's based on volume. If you think of just the strategy side of things, Sim and all of you guys, just think strategy. Don't think, oh, I got to place under the right person who does something, who does this. Nope. Just keep it very simple. Focus on the logic about it, and everyone benefits. Like
Mhm.
we thought our previous business had the best compensation plan. I'll tell you what, this one does. This one does for sure. And it's beneficial because you don't have to go be a rock star recruiter, rock star person. Oh, I get 10 sales a day. You could literally do it with less than 20 yourself personally. And then the duplication, because of what we teach on the funnel team, happens naturally as you plug people in.
Mhm.
Does that make sense, guys? Just drop the word makes sense if you feel me. Okay. And then what other question was there that we missed? Let's see. John Vickers says, as long as they say active, correct? He asked that 2 minutes ago. Do you remember what that was in regard to?
Yeah. I mean, obviously they have to be active because you're not going to get paid on people that aren't paying their membership. So that's where the volume comes from when people renew or when people join. It's either when they join or when they renew, but it's one of the two.
Yep.
So
Dan.
yeah.
if
So,
I
and
just-
that,
one
I
thing,
think,
Dan, real quick on that.
Yep.
You kind of hit something right there. It's not a beat up of our old, but we have to compare. We're gonna do comparison. In the old one, if they went inactive, they hogged a level. They hogged the level up. That's all I gotta say, Dan. You can explain what that meant. Compared to now, if they go inactive, there's no negative except a little less volume, but they do not hog a level up where you lose compensation. Does that make sense, Dan?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then Daniel, did you see Shannon's question as well?
nope.
You can't see it. Okay. Shannon
Oh.
says, if someone comes in on level 6, it benefits people above them as well, like someone on level 2, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So to Shannon's question, that's what I was saying right here. So let's say,
Mhm.
person number 2, who you bring, and you don't even have to bring in this person. That's the beauty of this. All the volume that is down below you could come from the people that you personally sponsor. And then in that lineage, or let's say, myself or Bill or Catherine or whoever places somebody down underneath you. So let's say we place Dave down underneath you and Dave's a rock star and plows in a bunch of people. You still get to earn off of that volume that somebody else brings in, even if they're not in your direct line. Okay. So this person here, to Shannon's question, if they produce and they go in and they bring in a bunch of people, right, and they place people down under 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down, yeah, everybody above that gets to benefit from that volume. So whatever level they're on, whether it be 6 or 10 or 256, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And let me dissect, let me clear all this out here. All right. I'm going to give everybody, like, if you need to, 10 seconds, take a screenshot. Otherwise, I mean, you guys will have this over at teachabletuesdayreplays.com, but I'm going to clear this out. Okay. And I want to dissect Bill's thing, what he said, because it's actually really important to, kind of comparing our old plan to this current one here. So again, we're just going to go binary, pop that back in there. All right. So with the old plan, right, if you had you at the top, then you had, you get your, I'll use the binary here, but we'll still kind of talk about the old structure a little bit, right? So let's say that you had we'll just call this person 3, right? You got 1, 2, 3. You got person 3, they join, and then over time they cancel or they stop paying or whatever it is. In the old plan, that person would basically tie up a spot. And you would want people as close to, as close to you as possible. But with a binary, if that person cancels, yes, eventually they will get compressed out if they stop paying. However, again, placement does not really matter. As long as they're on an outside leg, placement does not really matter because you're just getting paid off the volume. Even if this person or anybody, starts building an inside leg, and then this person starts building an inside leg and they go down, and then this person starts building an inside leg, and it's inside leg of inside leg of inside leg. You still get to earn off of all that volume, and that would be over on your left leg because it came from your left leg. So you still get all that volume, right? But if you have somebody cancel or they quit or whatever, and that volume and that team continues to build down, it's no big deal. It's no big deal because they're not clogging up a spot. It doesn't become a genealogy hole where, oh man, now I can't place someone close to me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because, again, you get paid off of volume. That's the biggest thing that you guys need to recognize here is you get paid off of volume, right? So
And let
that's
me
also
just
why it's
say,
important.
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I was to
Go
say
ahead.
that's also why it's, and I'll finish up here in a second. That's why it's important to keep everybody as best as you can as you're placing people. All right. And as they're placing people, and this is what we're going to be teaching. So, whether you come in here or you come in here or whoever comes in here on these outside legs, we want to be teaching them to keep people on your outside legs. And that way we as a team will be helping each other build our volume, right? And trust me when I say this, the longer you stay in it, the more volume you're going to have on your team because we're all going to be helping each other. That's how we break this compensation plan, break in a good way, because it's all about volumes. So if we're all consistently helping, place on those outer legs, right, you're going to be increasing your volume. And the longer you stay in it, the more volume you're going to see, the more volume you see, the more you can make. Simple as that, right?
Yep.
Kirsty, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have a couple things to say, but before I go into that, I just want to echo what Jenny and Shannon both said. What happens when someone drops out? Does their team move up? What happens to the hierarchy of that dropout person's account? And Shannon echoed the same type of thing. If someone quits, who's their new sponsor or their team members?
It should remain in the lineage. So if
Yep.
I sponsor Bob and Bob sponsors Mike, and then let's say that goes down to infinity, whatever, and Bob decides to quit, but Bob sponsored Mike and Bob's no longer there, it would slide up to the next available active sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
That's how that would work.
Yep.
And again, nothing to do with placement or where they are in a binary. That's your bloodline. That's your unilevel bloodline. You sponsor someone who sponsors someone who sponsors someone.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then
that's-
Laurie,
Sorry.
okay, go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
I'm just saying the sliding up it's a non-issue. There's the bloodline, which is check match, and Dan's probably going to get into that. What he's talking about, a team build. The good news, it doesn't even have to be in your bloodline. If anyone knows about unilevel, that's your bloodline. So it doesn't matter if it slides up, you lose nothing. You could have 10 dead spots in between this guy or this woman and you, and it means nothing in this compensation plan. And the other one, again, not picking on it, I suffered it. Dan will tell you, like I've had people go in a genealogy hole, they call Dan up and I'm like, hey, I saw that person pop in there and now my 12th level is my 13th. I'm no longer getting paid there without going into it. And we let it go, but there's none of that here. So the sliding, and I know, Dan, it's a little confusing. Maybe you could do it a little bit easier than what I'm trying to say here. The bottom line is it doesn't matter who quits because it doesn't affect you. It can affect your check match and your personals, but that's a whole nother situation. The binary, there's no effect. It just means there's less volume. That's it. It doesn't penalize you in any way. That's the difference.
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep, it does. And here's the thing too, guys, because this is totally different, give yourself some grace to understand it, but also understand, just like a lot of people have commented, it's a lot more simple. It's a lot more simple to earn in this compensation plan because you need less than 20 sales yourself. It's based on volume for production. If, Cindy's a massive sales woman and let's say Billy Bob is, he gets only a couple sales a month, whatever else, you're going to benefit regardless because it's based on volume. Okay. It's not based on, oh my gosh, I got to go out and get myself 10 sales myself. And I'm just not good at it. Right. It's based on team collaboration. So what I was going to say earlier is because it's so team collaborative, you can win faster, harder, stronger here. Where the other one that we were used to, it was like the main dude's always winning the same type of stuff. And where's the benefit for the little guy who just barely started, right? The little guy, even the guy who's massive, but maybe doesn't want to massively recruit, can win. So the funnel team and everything that we offer, everything that can be in your short form videos for every piece of value that you can bring someone, the compensation plan literally matches exactly what we've been trying to do with the value that we bring. Now the compensation plan reflects exactly that. Does that make sense, guys? And then
Yeah,
real quick, let's see. Shannon said, do we need a certain amount of personally sponsored in order to start earning off of our legs?
Yeah, guys, there's a lot of comp plan questions coming in, like, when I qualify for spillover or what are the qualifications. We have a compensation plan video in our team training site.
Yeah.
And I go over the slides, specifically the JIFU slides, and I show you the different managerial ranks and how many people you need personally sponsored on each leg in order to hit said bonus. Okay. So instead of me answering every single one of those questions, like, go back and go check that video out because it explains it in the video and it shows you right in black and white on paper. If you want to hit X percentage of bonus, you need to be at this level or this,
Yep.
X amount of people sponsored on each side. So all of that information is on the slides in the compensation plan overview.
You got it.
We're kind of just talking about the perks.
Yep.
And some of the advantages. Comp plan video will go over everything, but I just got to jump out. We're talking about perks, Dan. One thing, and we're talking differences, we'll do a little comparison. So let's just be real. Dan noticed this. I noticed this right away. So in our prior, we had to wait for our check match. So anyone on this call, how many we got? 85 of us that was successful and waited to the following month for check match. This isn't real time. If someone that you sponsored, as long as you're the right rank, up to 10 levels, makes money today, you get check match. We had to wait a month. It was on our renewals. So every time someone paid, you got check match on one level, and then you had to wait 30 days for that person to get paid again. This is in real time. So you could get 10 check matches in the same day from the same person. I'm being a little broad, but that is true, Dan, what I'm explaining there, because I've seen it happen already. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You literally see the check match right then and there, which is really, really cool. So as an example, if I sponsor Kirsty and then Kirsty earns X amount of dollars, I can see that check match like that day, which is really, really cool. It's a great part of the compensation plan. All right. So I saw there was a question that came in a couple of times. Do we get comp on the center spill? So I want you to remove like center spill from left spill from right spill. Like, spill is spill. Doesn't matter where it is. Like, if you can earn from the volume, you can earn from the volume, regardless of where it is. As long as you qualify to earn from that volume, which minimum is 1 and 1 on each side. That's how you get to manager. And then you hit a certain volume percentage, which isn't much. I think it's like 150 on each leg, which again is not much. That's when you get to the first manager rank, and that's when you can start qualifying for obviously the volume and the growth below you. So it doesn't matter where it is, center, left, right, whatever. All right, so that is about the gist, unless I can think of anything else. Obviously, if you guys have any more questions, pump them in there. I know it's a lot of information, but trust me when I tell you this compensation plan is much easier to create a lot of volume by keeping people on those outer sides. So you got to remember, as you start to grow and as you start to personally bring people in, it's not about filling in from the top down. That's what we're used to. You need to get rid of that. Okay. It's about that continued growth either on your left-hand side or your right-hand side, or obviously both. But when you place, you always want to place either, if you're going to place on the right, you place on the outer right. If you're going to place on the left, you place on the outer left. And then as your people continue to build and grow, they're going to follow the same strategy. Okay. So we're each following basically our own little mini strategy here. Okay. So you always want to be placing on those outer sides, and that's going to help the team build. That's going to help your team build. And one of the, one big, huge, major difference between old comp plan versus new comp plan, right? Old comp plan, you could do really well if you were a big time producer, a Catherine, a Kirsty, myself, whoever, people that literally sponsored a lot of people. You could do really well. Here, you can still do well, because a big difference is it's a much higher buy-in, meaning instead of, you get the $100, but it goes all the way up to $2,500, $400 commission. We've had several global sales come in on our team. So you never know who's going to buy in, and it's a much higher commission, which is really cool. But this comp plan pays you to be a leader. Okay. It pays you to help your team build and grow. So you can make way more. And this is what I said in the beginning, and we'll continue to talk about this. You can make way more money and not be a big producer. So if you bring on the right people and you help those people grow, all you like to go to the top rank in the company, all you need is 16 people personally sponsored total. That's it. Otherwise, it's just about the team. It's about you helping your team build and grow. Okay. That's it. So if you guys go for that, then, you're good. So, you can settle at 8, right? Or you could do 20 people on each leg. If you wanted to, you could do 10 people on each leg, 15 people on each leg. But obviously the more personals that you put on each leg, the better chance you have of having those people build and grow and finding, like, I don't know if you guys noticed our cover photo changed today, right? And it said, there's a nice little catchphrase in that says, you're literally one person away. And that's the beauty about this business. That's the beauty about this industry. One person could literally explode your downline. One person could be the difference between you making, $10 a week to making $1,000 a week. One person. So it's just a matter of being in it to win it, staying consistent, be a product of the product, study this, show up for it every day like a job. And if you do that, and I dropped this, I don't know if anyone saw my post I did earlier today on Facebook, but I just said, I was talking about complainers, but in that post, I also said, if you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If I were you, I might write that down. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. So think about this industry. Think about this business that we're in, whether it be, online marketing, network marketing, digital marketing, whatever you want to call it. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want to get good at this business, study it. Like someone asked earlier, like, hey, I don't remember the exact question, but like, did the CEO explain this to you, or did you figure it out all on your own? Like, I figured this out because I study comp plans. I'm a student of the process. I'm a student of the business, the industry. Everything that I'm sharing with you tonight, I did not know 3 weeks ago. Like, I'm familiar with how a binary works, but now I feel like I kind of know our comp plan inside and out. If I can learn it, so can you. There's no difference here. Like, we're all on the same page. We're all reading the same book. We're on the same journey here together. There's no difference between me figuring this out and you figuring this out. It just comes down to mindset and attitude. If you want to become wealthy, study wealth. Like all these books over here, that ain't for show. Like I've literally read every single one of these books. That's how I know a lot of things. That's how I have certain quotes and phrases, and I'm really good at certain things because I study this shit. Pardon my French. But Tony Robbins says sometimes you got to swear to get people's attention. So I study this stuff, guys. I don't just hope and pray and wish that things work out for the better. Yay, lottery ticket mentality. No. If you want to be wealthy, study wealth. If you want to get great at marketing, study freaking marketing. If you want to get great at social media, study social media. Study hooks, study posts, learn everything you can. Be a freaking sponge. And if you do these things, Jim Rohn says, those of you guys that don't know Jim Rohn, you should really look him up. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you wealthy. Might want to write that one down too. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you wealthy. I didn't become wealthy by having a college degree. I never went to college. I became wealthy because I studied wealth. I studied how things work. I learned, I committed to learning. I show up every single day. The same thing with multiple people on our team. We show up every day. If you do that, you're going to win. And here's the beautiful part. If you do that and you stay focused and you stay hungry and you stay consistent and you stay willing to consistently learn and invest in yourself, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Hope that makes sense. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for coming on tonight. I just put a link in the chat for our ongoing Teachable Tuesday thread. Please comment something that you learned tonight so other people can collaborate and be able to learn something better for themselves. They're studying the right stuff, studying well, just like Daniel just mentioned. The replay will be uploaded at teachabletuesdayreplays.com here within the next hour. So you can for sure watch it back again. And then go crush the week. Go do something that your future self thanks you for, as cheesy as that sounds. It's the truth, okay? Go do the dang thing instead of talking about it. And we'll see you in the Facebook group here in just a minute. Sound good, guys?
Boom.
Have an awesome evening. See you in the group in just a sec. Bye, guys.
Later.